water to go through it. Just turned into dough, right?
Are you doing the old Coleman cooler system, or do you have your
Yeah,
own system?
I put it in like a bigger size cable than most people use. But I have another system that if something happens, or I have 5 gallon buckets drilled in them, and I can just dump it in the bucket, and then it drains into the other bucket.
Yeah.
And I can just resort to that method if I have to.
Well, we are live. I'm supposing you're drinking what you're talking about right now, correct?
I most definitely will be.
And I'm drinking Blood Light from Blood Brothers.
Blood Light?
Blood Light.
Dude. How's that?
It's okay. It's a beer. I like that they have a pizza on it as a pyramid. It's a pyramid pizza.
Okay, like Pizzagate.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, they did get in trouble.
They did?
Yeah, they did. They didn't seem to care though because they're still making it.
With the Blood Light name, yeah, I was gonna say like that's a great way to get yourself married. Let's see if I can I need a cup.
So we like usual, guys. We do have some beer related news. More people should show up here and there. We do have the comments open so we can chat with you if you are watching. Yeehaw to you. Yeah, here we go. I guess we can start with Canadian beer news, eh? We'll do that one when I know he's back. Hampton Brewing is launching in southern New Brunswick. Hampton Brewing Company is currently producing its beer at Loyalist City Brewing in St. John and has launched with 2 hop-forward offerings, Victory Pale Ale and Crush Session IPA. Victory and Crush are on tap now at select craft beer bars in New Brunswick. For more details, see the Hampton Brewing Facebook page. The more you know. Ninepenny Brewing is opening this weekend in South Newfoundland. Hey, what you want there, lady?
I'm gonna get the brat.
Okay.
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 Love you too.
Goodbye. Anyway, yes. So they're opening up with a porter, an English style pale ale, a Belgian inspired white IPA. Now that you're back, there is a new brewery opening up in Calgary.
Okay.
The Established Brewing Company is now open in Calgary. They are next door to the Annex Ale Project, and they are currently serving taps. They're currently serving flights, glasses, and growlers of Pilsnar, St. Truda's Belgian Single, Afternoon Delight New England Pale Ale, Rad Brown American Brown Ale, Straight Razor West Coast IPA, and Fat Sherpa Robust Porter.
Yeah, the Alberta breweries typically have some really stupid names for their beer, and then once in a while, a cool one. What was that last one? Sherpa?
Fat Sherpa.
Fat Sherpa, that one. I guess that's all right. What the brewery's called? What?
The Establishment.
The Establishment. Oh, I guess not too bad then.
Ooh, that's the only thing that could have happened good for this brewery. Okay, so for anyone that followed the Ontario brew scene recently, they would know that No Beard Brewing closed. No Beard Brewing was in Peterborough. They had a big old dilemma happen where they fired somebody and then they didn't pay him, and then he collected money in their name from some of their licensees, and a whole bunch of shit happened, and then they closed. And everyone was wondering what was going to happen with this this beard-free brewing. What was going to happen with them, and in the end, it came down to the place was going to be sold, and people were freaking out too. If somebody else buys the place, what's going to happen? Because nobody's going to trust them in case these owners still have any stake in it. And I guess Bob Cajun Brewing Company bought them. Now, Bob Cajun is already a established contract brewer here in Ontario, so they bought the facility. They're taking it over in, when does it say they're taking it over? This spring. But they've taken ownership of Beard Free Brewing, and yeah, so that's great because somebody that's actually established is taking it over, so you don't have to actually worry about them trying to build a name after the bullshit that happened there.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a lot of drama.
There's always drama. The beer world's full of drama.
Yep.
Full of a lot of things, actually. It's really funny too when you go around and look at what's happened with things. Fuck. Let's just close this.
I never know what's going on with these beer names because when you said fuck, I thought you were talking about like the fuck brewery or something.
Oh, there's probably a fuck brewery somewhere.
I love this fuck brewery.
Kellogg's owns Lucky Charms, don't they?
Apparently I'm deaf.
Does Kellogg's own Lucky Charms?
I don't know. It would be either them or Post, I would imagine. Or General Mills.
It's General Mills. I see it on the box. I had to look it up because of some stories that I had going. So first story is just kind of funny to me that it's getting this much publicity because this stuff's been happening now for years. It's magically ridiculous. Brewers launched Lucky Charms inspired beer. So they made a beer with Lucky Charms in it. It's a brewery in New Jersey. I'm not even going to care to give them any more publicity over this because I find it funny that this shit gets to the National Post. But there's been breweries making stuff with cereal for years and years and years. There's one brewery in Texas that buys all the Cocoa Puffs in the state when they come out.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, it's free advertising for the cereal company.
Yep.
Too. I don't know why we'd have any quarrels with that. It's like shit. You're advertising Lucky Charms on your beer, unless they think that.
See, this is where we're coming, right? So there's that story. Now this story we'll go more into detail with because I find this one kind of fun. So there's General Mills thing there. Kellogg's tells a brewery in the Montérégie region of Quebec to stop making Fruit Loops IPA. Now, I do find this one funny, too. It's Fanham Ales and Lagers. They received a cease and desist from Kellogg's for their Fruit Loops IPA. There's a brewery in Ottawa that makes a Fruit Loops pale ale as well. Spelt the exact same way, Dominion City. Guess they're not as well known as Fanham. But so yeah, they didn't get the cease and desist, but they did. But Kellogg's wants its cereal in a bowl, not a beer. And a small brewery in Quebec was served a cease and desist letter for getting it wrong.
Yeah, they got to remember that these kids are French and they're already used to drinking. So
yeah,
I don't know. Beer is probably the weaker version of what they're used to having.
Yep. No, I mean, they say that they just sent us a notice to tell us not to use their trademark anymore, but at the same time, they say they recognize our love and passion for their Fruit Loops, but it's their job to protect their trademark, and it's completely true. If you don't protect the trademark, you can't really enforce it anymore. That is the one.
The breweries should ask permission and get a contract. I mean, it's just common sense. It's just like, hey, we're using your thing. And if they're cool with it, great. If not, just flavor it like that and name it some other clever thing the same way that the no-name brand cereals do it.
Yeah.
I guess.
Fruitos.
Like, fruity breakfast loops style beer.
Well, I think part of the problem was they posted pictures of cases upon cases of Fruit Loops in the brewery.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you got to like kind of, when you're professional in a real company, you kind of got to get a lawyer and go through the proper steps. to try and do that shit. That's just that's not even really a matter of opinion. That's just common sense. I would have thought.
You would have thought.
Yeah, if you're gonna take a picture of someone's product and stick it on your product, you should probably clear it with them first. And maybe even like you could have got advertising dollars out of them if you would have played it right. Maybe.
Possibly.
Well, craft breweries, there's so much going on. There's so many weird things that they probably thought they could just sneak it by, and then maybe they wouldn't really care. I don't know.
So I'm going down the list, okay, of things we can talk about. And the next news article is the 5 weirdest beer flavors. And this is put up from just one of those fucking clickbait sites, but whatever. I decided to open it up and see. One of the beers is that beer we talked about, the Lucky Charms beer. I'm sorry, there's a lot weirder shit out there than the Lucky fucking Charms beer. That ain't all that weird. The next one is whale testicle beer. Okay, that's kind of weird. I mean,
no, yeah, that's strange. I don't even know where you find whale testicles.
I think it's. I'm looking at it right now. I believe it is. Yes, it's an Icelandic beer. Next is super spicy beer, Ghostface Killa by Twisted Pine. It's not actually even all that spicy. There's a lot spicier out there, but yeah, spicy beers are kind of a weird flavor for a lot of people. Bull testicle beer, Rocky Mountain Oyster Stout by Wincoop Brewing Company in Denver, Colorado. And then the world's strongest beer, which is Snake Venom, though people argue that it's not really a beer because it's ice certified, solidified, basically. It's fortified. And they've been caught. They've been caught before with just putting actual. I remember a news story about these guys putting actual spirits in the beer to actually bump up the ABV as well.
It sounds like just watered down scotch.
Well, it's 67.5% alcohol. There is no.
Well, it's not really watered down at all, then, is it?
There's no way that a beer yeast is getting up there. Not even a champagne yeast, and even if you're ice brewing, it's still not. It still shouldn't hit there.
They got a moonshiner's yeast. I think can go to like higher than 16, and I've used that before to save my ass on when I have a yeast stall out, like in a mead or something. But yeah, you're not going to get above like 20% with a yeast species.
Well, I mean, what does Brewdog's highest is in the 40s? Is it not 30s or 40s?
Yeah, I don't know if they're even
Sink the Bismarck and Tactical Nuclear Penguin are their 2 big ones.
They got to be shooting basically grain alcohol in it or something. Like they're not brewing that at 40. Like naturally brewing. Like they're just throwing something that's distilled in there, I would imagine. Because I thought that moonshiner's yeast was the most powerful shit you could get. I thought, and I think it goes above 16. But most of your natural like champagne yeast, and that only really get to 16.
I've never really tried to brew anything above 15.
Yeah, my mead's about 16, and I had the champagne yeast stall out, so I threw in moonshiner's yeast to finish it off, and thank God it started up again.
The fuck was that? Well, I know what it was. It was my phone, but who the fuck's... I don't fucking know. You know I'm on the internet. I'm not answering that right now. Fuck off. The wife-to-be texting me about when a certain festival is. We might be going to a hot sauce festival.
You're doing a hot sauce festival?
We might be going to a hot sauce festival on Saturday. Yeah. So she was just texting me, what time's the festival at? You know I'm down here on here. Look it up. You know what it's called.
Yeah.
So I was hoping Ashley would show up by now so I could show him that I was drinking one of his beers tonight, too.
What is it?
Sexton Brewing Company's Inventa Amarillo.
It's
Amarillo One Hop.
Yeah, that's good. I like trying those one hop beers because then you can really get a knowledge of what that particular hop tastes like on its own.
Well, I just did the video on this homebrew today. And I actually went into a spiel at the beginning of the video, too. Like, I've brewed with Amarillo before. I've used Amarillo quite often. I never really thought I liked Amarillo.
That's good.
And then I drank this beer, which is an Amarillo just on its own, and I'm getting everything that they actually tell you you're supposed to get from it that I never really picked up. And I think the main reason I never really picked it up was because either I had too much of one hop in it, because it seems pretty subtle where that, hops would overpower it. And I think that might be why I just didn't like it. I was thinking that it was mixing with something else. I mean, most of the time when I would brew with Amarillo, I wasn't using it as a full flavor hop. I was using it as a backup hop, and it just a complementary hop. And I don't think it complemented well.
It's really good, just on its own when you taste it. Amarillo's good. I find it tastes kind of like oranges.
Yeah, see, and I never picked that up until I've had it now on its own.
I always thought it was.
Go ahead, sorry.
I thought it was supposed to be like one of those super fruity tropical hops, and then when I tried it on its own, I found I was like, oh, it's like basically like a Cascade or something. It's got a lot of bitterness. It's spicy, but it's like a good substitute for Cascade. I think for me, maybe a little more orange than grapefruit but it's like the same kind of. It's like a competitor to Cascade or whatever.
Yeah, and I mean, I like I was saying, I think that's part of the problem too. Like a lot of the times you get Amarillo in a commercial beer, it's mixed in with a whole bunch of more powerful hops, and you don't even really taste it. Like I just had an IPA recently it was Amarillo, Simcoe, Cascade, and I can't remember the fourth one, but there was a fourth one in there too. And I mean, it's just it takes over. It hides things.
Yeah, like, we got a brewery here in Alberta that I like to buy their bombers. They're called the Dragons, and each one is a different color, and they just get different hops, and they do different additions all the time. It's always a single hop double IPA, and so they'll put in, and they're always kind of evolving. Like they'll pick, like I had one with Idaho something in it, and then there's a lot of hops that I would never get to try. And they're always it's the same IPA grain bill. Like it's always a really solid double IPA. And then they'll do Amarillo or I don't know how many hops they've been through now, but they're probably up on like 30 or 40 editions of this beer probably.
Nice. Good day, Starscream. How are you doing? I haven't seen you in forever. Actually, I don't even know if is he still doing videos often? Because I haven't been invited to anything in a long time since before I moved out here to Welland. And Tico, 9% alcohol Dogfish Head. Which one do you have? That I can't remember. What percentage was 90-minute IPA? I can't remember. Dogfish Head, American brewery that I would buy a lot of. Not going to say I disliked any of them, but I didn't love any of them really either. I mean, they're a good brewery. I think part of the problem was I go to New York State, right? Because I'm right across the border from New York State. And in New York State, Dogfish Head is a little bit more expensive than a lot of other breweries where it's cheaper for me to buy something else than them.
One brewery I like from New York that has really cheap beer, that's really fantastic shit, is Schmaltz. They have that Hebrew, I think it's like a black IPA.
Yes. Like, well, no, they've done a few different ones. I think every year they come out with a different one.
You like the St. Lenny's? It's like a Belgian rye beer or something, and it's like cheap. You get a bomber for like $7, and it's like 11.5%. Like they're sending big beers up here, and they're really competitive on price, and they're tip top. And I like Brooklyn beer. That's the only New York beers I've tried. The Brooklyn Brewery.
Brooklyn would come up to Ontario often. Their lager would come up here, and a few of their others would ship up here every once in a while. Yeah. Flying Bison in New York State, I like too. They are owned by Matt's Brewing Company. Matt's Brewing Company is further south in the state. They do Saranac. That's the name they're mostly known for, but they also own Flying Monkeys. They bought it from the previous owner. Beautiful, beautiful place, though. Yeah.
No, we don't get too much from out there.
No, well, it costs. Well, I'm surprised you guys don't get more. Well, we know why you don't get it anymore.
Well, I don't know. I haven't been to the craft beer store a whole lot, but we get a lot of beers from all over, but I haven't really been lately. Well, did Rachel Notley do something to her beer import laws?
Not anything new. Not since last time she fucked them.
When she do, I wasn't even aware. I've been buying a lot of more mainstream beers and just sticking to my own brew. It's getting fucking expensive over here, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, it's pretty much par for the course down here. The beer prices haven't changed much. They do go up every year by a couple cents, 15, 20, something like that. I did buy I bought the 6-pack of No Name beer on the long weekend. So when the long weekend came by it would have been Family Day. When that came up, the No Name beer went down to $6.60 for a 6-pack. So I bought a 6-pack to try it. Yeah, you know what? I'd pay $6.60 for it. And I know I'm a craft beer guy that drinks craft beer more than anything else. Yeah, I'd buy a 6-pack for $6.60.
We got a one liquor store here. Like, there's one store in the city, and they will sell a 24 of Rolling Rock for like $27. That's kind of I don't mind drinking that at that price. But like Olympia went up. I was getting Olympia for $1 a can. Like, forget that now. I really like that for drinking the macro session beer, but I don't want to pay like $2 for one.
I have this problem where I'm trying to finish this beer, but it's my fault that the problem happened. This is the Constant from Little Beasts, and it was given to me last May at my beer festival, and I've just not gotten around to it until now. So the yeast is a little active. The beer's still drinkable. It's not like the beer's gone bad. It's just it's getting hard to get it down.
Gone bad. Charlie Murphy. This
and
one,
like I said, the worst part is my fault. It's my fucking fault.
This buckwheat oatmeal barley wine I brewed. This one's kind of turbid, and I think it must be one of the last ones I racked because I see a lot of sediment in it, and it's kind of tasting blah a little bit compared to some of them that are more. I threw a lot of Centennial in for bittering, and I'm not even getting that through here, so there must be a lot of shit.
Andy Smith, I haven't tried many Nova Scotian craft beers in about 2 years. That's the last time I think I've really had anything sent to me. That's the problem, right? We don't get them over here, so unless I have a connection over there, I don't get them.
You gotta send a telegraph to Lee.
Yeah, Lee doesn't seem
telegraph
to be much trading anymore, which is fine. I mean, I'm just saying that's the reason I haven't had many. There's a whole bunch of breweries that have opened up in the Maritimes I'd love to try stuff from. Kitty Vitty, or Quiddy Vitty, however the fuck you say it, from Newfoundland, contacted me. One of their sales guys contacted me. He's like, I'm going to send you some beer. I'm like, okay. Yeah, the beer never came. And it's not like I'm saying, oh shit, because, it was going to be free beer, so I'm not going to bitch at them about it. It's weird that companies will reach out to you and then not actually send something.
Contacted again, just like say, hey, what about that beer? They'll probably send it. They probably didn't realize all the bullshit involved, and they're like, you got to come here and get it. But the Nova Scotia breweries I tried, they like to throwing a lot of bittering hops in their beer. So they had like that real bold start to them. Like, it seemed like they were all jamming a shit ton of bittering hops in everything at the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, more so than most places. It was almost like a regional thing, I thought. It's like, shit, this brewery's doing it, that brewery's doing it. And I was doing that too at the same time.
A lot of their pale ales were very like East Coast American style.
Oh yeah, maybe that's why.
Yeah, they were very, like you said, they were bitter, they were earthy, they were woodsy. I don't think they do that as much now because a few of the IPAs and stuff I've had from them a couple of years back weren't like that. But when I started drinking them, they were pretty harsh for me.
Well, yeah, they were hardcore. Like I can't remember what styles they were, but whether it was a black IPA or a brown ale or whatever, like they just like jam a shit ton of like high alpha acid American bittering hops, and it was like almost a bit overwhelming. Like, I can handle it, but I could see a lot of people just trying to try it would be like, holy fuck, this shit's nuclear.
Okay, Tico, I actually will answer that in comment here. So Tico wrote, You guys try any CBD oil yet? Feels nice. No paranoia. Look into it. Great before bed. Legal in all 50 states. Not sure about in Canada. So CBD oil is legal in Canada.
Yeah.
Pot's legal in Canada now. I was never somebody that smoked any. It's not that I had anything against it. I was a national caliber athlete, and I would get my blood tested quite often, so I couldn't do it back then. And just because I didn't do it growing up, I just never did it, right? Now, a company that's trying to be first to market with a marijuana beer brought me some marijuana beers, and it was THC, not CBD. And so he brings the THC beers to me, and gives me the beers. Those beers fucked me good, like for hours. I drank one bottle of it, and I was rolling back and forth on the floor, freaking out. So that was my first introduction to THC. I've never had anything with CBD myself.
Eating pot versus smoking it. If you eat some real powerful shit, and you don't even have to eat that much, you can get high for like a day and a half, 2 days. As opposed to smoking, that you probably max 5 to 4 hours. So giving people THC beers if they're not really knowledgeable on edibles.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. But I can tell you, it hits your bloodstream in exactly 45 minutes.
Yeah, it takes about an hour or so, 45 minutes. Oh, Jesus, I forgot to plug in my battery. But if people are wanting to experiment with the THC, maybe in Canada and it's legal now, start with smoking it or something. Like, don't.
Yeah, I had never. No, that's a lie. I had one edible before that. Last year at the festival, last May, Bubba came by with some fucking gummy bears that had like 40 milligrams of THC in a gummy bear, and he's like, "Hey, Chad, you want a gummy bear?" Doesn't tell me what it is. Just ask me if I want a gummy bear. I had a gummy bear. Apparently, we went to breakfast the next morning. I don't even remember going to breakfast. That was my first introduction to it.
Yeah. Yeah, they make different strength of the gummy bears. Some of them don't do much, and then I've never tried a high potency one. I don't really mess with that shit too much. Too old for that shit.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you can see what I'm holding in right now. I gotta walk away for a second. You're in charge.
Okay.
I gotta let this pressure out.
Oh, God. Explosion. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the chat. Just tuning in. I don't know if I'm sideways. I can't read the chat. The chat's sideways on this. And enjoying a nice, fresh, homebrewed barley wine. Glass lacing tits, 11% buckwheat oatmeal, barley wine with a Belgian S33 yeast and an English ale yeast.
Okay, so it takes me a while to walk out of this bedroom because I do all my working out in here, so I have to like step over everything. Anyway, Tico, where was I born? I was born in Ottawa, Ontario, so Canada's capital. That's where I was born, but I grew up in Braeside, Ontario, so outside of Arnprior, a little town out in the Ottawa Valley. And I currently live in the Niagara region. What's up?
Stomping Tom references that town.
Yes, he does. He also references the town right beside where my ex-wife lives, which is Tillsonburg. Tillsonburg.
My back still hurts when I hear the word.
Yeah, my ass hurts when I hear that word.
Does she pick tobacco now?
Pardon me?
Pick tobacco? Does she pick tobacco now?
No. She doesn't do anything now. She lives off the government and my money.
Oh.
Hence why my ass still hurts when I hear that word.
Oh, God.
I've been to Jersey once. And we were visiting Philly, and we were staying in Jersey. And that was probably a dumb thing for us to do because we had to pay to cross that stupid Jersey Bridge there a couple times. The boxer's on the move. Alicia must be home. Oh. Ugh. Hey, baby, what's up? Hi.
I'm in the newspaper.
I know you're in the newspaper. Awesome.
I'm on the newspaper.
Don't trip.
I'm famous.
Oh, you're famous. Sorry, one of my daughters. I don't let the kids on the screen, so.
Yeah. Oh, check it out, man.
She's all excited because she got in the newspaper for Pink Shirt Day yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking sweet. I chopped a hole in my guitar.
Why?
I'm putting in this is a Super Strat I got for really cheap, and I'm attempting to install a Floyd Rose. It kind of turned into a bit of a hack job because the bridge it was on was fucked, so I might have to doctor it up. But now that I fucked this one up, I should be able to pull off the next one flawlessly. So
I should one day I'll show you the hack job I did. I'm starting to do a lot of woodworking and doing tables and shit out of reclaimed wood. And I was playing with the electrical spools, and one of the spools, the top was horrible, but the bottom was perfectly fine. But the bottom has all those fucking spots where the slats go in and all that. So I'm like, hey, let's try and fill these holes with crayon. Let me tell you, I learned it's not as easy to melt crayons and get them in things as you would think.
what's a spool? What do you mean spool?
The big wire spools that electricians have, the giant wooden wire spools.
Oh, and you're trying to make those you can make a pretty nice
I've made some nice everything out of them. I've made pub tables, I've made stools, I've made coffee tables.
I was gonna say those would look really good in like a brew pub. Those and
I actually do the legs and stuff with the when I do them into pub tables. I do the legs and the center bar with 1-inch piping.
So do you cut the bottom spool off?
No, I don't cut anything off. I take the spool apart. Like there's the metal rods going through them.
Oh, I've sat on one a lot, but I never really tried to do nothing with it.
No, there's a metal rod that goes from one end to the other, and it's just two nuts that are holding it together. And then the wood is being held in because they've basically routed a circle into it, so the wood sits in the circle on both sides, and then the nuts hold it tight. So as soon as you take those nuts off, you can take it apart. Then all those slats come out, and some of them, like some of the higher end ones, the slats are curved. They're barrel shaped already, so you can do a lot of cool shit with that too.
Okay.
Yeah, the beer had a nice color. At least it's true. Another can of Blood Light.
Blood Light, yeah.
Blood Light.
It's almost like the controversy is like free advertising. They're like,
well, that's the thing, right? And
the line.
only beer they force you to buy in a 4-pack. Every other beer is a single.
Dude, 4-packs are ridiculous. Like there's all the 4-packs I see around here. Like there's some new Alberta breweries, but they sell 4-pack super cans. But it's like
now, Tico, I know you are drinking Dogfish Head, so you're not buying the cheapest stuff out there. But a 4-pack of Blood Light is $13 here in Ontario. Fuck, a 6-pack of say Bud. Let's say a 6-pack. Let's actually look up a 6-pack of Bud right now because I haven't bought a 6-pack of Bud forever.
Over here, I don't know. They kind of got it cheaper, I think, for a while because it was like 16 something for Bud Light like a few years ago here. I was like, why the fuck would anyone buy that?
Because that's the thing, right? Our craft beer is close to the same price as their
cheaper usually. If you buy Sixers, like my local craft beer is always cheaper than Kokanee or Bud Light.
Really? Never is.
Yeah. Well, macro beers was expensive here. I think they lowered the prices a bit, but like I can buy beer out of BC or Alberta. A lot of 6-packs are still around like $14, but they're starting to get up like around 16. It's kind of getting retarded. So a lot of the macro already was 16, so that's even more retarded.
Okay, so I'm going to look up a Bud just to know. Okay, let's find Bud here on the beer store website. Bud. So we go to Bud. What do we have? A 6-pack of Bud. 6 cans is $12.95 at $3.55. 6 bottles would be $12.50. What?
Hi.
Why? What can I do for you?
Did Grace come down and show you her newspaper?
Yes, she came down to show me her newspaper. Okay, I'll continue. Bye.
Bye. I'm staying down here, but
Oh, are you? Are you really?
yeah, really am.
Oh, the Blood Light, 4.5%. Just throw something at me.
No. I didn't throw anything at you. What are you talking about?
I heard something.
That's nice. It doesn't mean something was thrown at you. I have better aim than that.
I don't know. I've seen you throw things at me. I have a buddy's homebrew sitting down here. It's 8.8. Blood Brothers did make one that I'm really intrigued on, and it's a nitro sour.
Oh shit, that would be neat.
And it says shake first on the can, which really does worry me. I won't deny the idea of shaking it before I open it does worry me.
Do they got a widget?
They do not.
Well, how does that supposed to work? Well, I guess can they do nitro beers? Well, they put nitro in bottles. Guinness has been doing that for a while. With something to do with the lining or some shit?
Well, Guinness always used to have the widget in the bottle. They had the spearhead widget in the bottle.
I thought they had bottles without the widget.
They do now. What happened is somehow one of them was just slightly too small, and it slipped down somebody's throat.
They fucking died, eh?
They didn't die, but yeah, they got rid of those widgets pretty damn quick.
I swallowed a fucking polyurethane spike thanks to Guinness. Fuck. Can't even imagine.
Yeah, the prices for Bud went down. $12.50 isn't bad for a 6-pack. Honestly,
brewing beer. If craft brewers can do it on that small scale, and Budweiser has these fucking
craft beer. That's the thing, right? Here in Ontario, at least, your craft beer is not cheap.
Not anymore, or at least ours used to be a lot cheaper. It's getting ridiculous, but a lot of it, I think, it's just to do with taxes.
Oh, somebody's texting me.
They impose new taxes, and then we've had this one in for a while, so out of province beer gets taxed more. So
here, let's look at a cheap lager from a local brewery. 6-pack is $17.
Whoa, how much is that? How much is Mill Street Organic? That's a pretty.
Oh, Mill Street Organic is no longer craft, but let's go find out.
Because I think they could probably make that somewhat affordable.
Well, they're owned by Labatt now, so they have to be able to make it affordable.
It wasn't horrible.
Oh, no, I'm not saying it's bad. I know that they're owned by the big guys, but I still drink their beer because it's not bad beer. I'm just saying that they should be able to still make it affordable, being who they're owned by.
Well, they're not the same guys as Steam Whistle, are they?
No, Steam Whistle is...
Mill Street's different.
Yeah.
So what's the Roundhouse about? I think I probably asked you this before.
The Roundhouse is the building that Steam Whistle is within. The Roundhouse is a historic train station, like a train track changer.
That makes sense. Same with the Steam Whistle. I guess that's something to do with the train, probably.
Yeah.
But was not Mill Street part of that?
No, Mill Street is in the distillery district. So okay. Mill Street's also in a historic building, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I must have been confused.
Like Steam Whistle, a 6-pack of bottles of Steam Whistle is $14.35. which
Yeah,
isn't horrendous. Now, Mill Street Organic bottles, $14.65 for a 6-pack.
yeah. Yeah. I still plug the Olympia. You ever drink Olympia yet, Chad?
I think I might have had one of them.
That's a good macro go-to beer.
I gotta look it up. I think I've had one Olympia. I had one. I had the Pilsner from Brew House and the ice, I think. The
I'm not sure if they're
Pilsner
in
and
the
the
same
ice.
city, but they're out of the same city. They're all out of Saskatoon, I think.
I've had the Pilsner, I've had the ice. I think I might have had the Olympia, and I've had the Lucky 7.
I don't know if I've had that.
What
They
do
have
we
a
have
they have a beers out there that they're
here? Tico, have a great night yourself. And yes, the widget was great advertising and marketing. Have a lovely, nice night. Au revoir. She's put on her headphones so that she can't hear me.
Wow. Where the fuck is Joe?
Joe hasn't joined me in quite some time.
Fucking asshole. Where's
I think he's become xenophobic, you know. I don't know where everybody is. They yeah.
Just me and you having a party tonight.
Me and you having a party, that's okay. Ooh. The poster for the beer festival is looking fun.
Oh yeah? Well, that's in May again, right?
Yes, it is, sir. That is in May again. Bang. Let's
sounds and looks like you're snorting coke when you do that.
What, when I do this?
When you put your head down and snort real loud. Looks like you're going.
My head is still it's still
I have a cold
far from my desk.
Oh, okay. Well, you got a powerful set of lungs then.
Oh, I do.
No, I already knows this morning too. It's just like
that's one of the reasons why I can do some of the things I do with yeah. Yeah. Okay, we got to save this picture. How the fuck do I save it? Sorry, guys. I just don't know what I'm doing. There we go. Send that to her. Okay. All sent out. And yeah, I got to get stuff printed tomorrow.
Oh, it's for your posters or whatever?
Yes, sir.
So is the craft beer scene as lively and vibrant as it was 3 years ago?
Probably more lively.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good news. I just thought maybe it'd calm down. Seems like people are less enthusiastic, maybe, but maybe they're just more used to it.
There we go.
More buying it, at least. As long as people keep buying it, that's good.
Bang. Oh, you can't see it.
Yeah, it looks like a video game from here because it's so glowing.
Okay, 1 second. I'll screen share it. I'll open it up here. And then we will come over here. And we will do screen share. Screen share. Screen share. Are we screen sharing? We're not screen sharing.
I cannot see.
I said screen share, motherfucker. I said screen share, motherfucker. There we go. We're screen sharing. Bang. There we go.
Okay, there we go.
So
yeah, that's pretty good.
The poster so far.
That's all the brewery logos?
Yep. Brewery logos,
yeah.
food vendors.
May 25th. Yeah, Ridgeway again. Probably the same building as before.
Yes, sir.
Sweet.
Yep. So yeah.
It rains.
Getting excited. Getting excited. Gonna have to start sharing all that stuff all over the place. Sharing on the internet can suck.
Yeah, it's a lot of clicking. You can fucking get a sore wrist. Unless they have like a voice command mouse system, which I'm sure they do.
Voice command shit doesn't work well.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, I tried that like way back in the day, and I was like, "This is fucking stupid."
I don't. Nobody
You get
heard
way
that.
more errors that way than if you just do it manually. You never knows what the fuck I'm saying. You know the subtitles. If you ever put the subtitles on your video just for shits and giggles,
Yep.
fucking doesn't make any fucking sense. It's just like words that don't exist, and it's like I didn't say that. It's like whole sentences that weren't even part of it. There's probably some better programs out there, but the one that YouTube used to have.
Google speech is horrible.
Yeah, so you guys are warm out there now.
Yeah, we're pretty
I've
warm
been
up.
worried. It was really warm all year, and then I saw all these geese flying over to BC. I was like, "Oh shit, here it comes!" And they're like, "We're getting the fuck out of here," and they did, and it got fucking cold for like a month and a half. It's like, we're going to fucking Golden. See you the fuck later.
Well,
Are you liking Welland? Do you like got a meth lab started?
no. Yeah, you guys
No?
heard that. Yeah, I just farted. No, I was introduced to Welland the good old-fashioned way of having my garage broken into. That was a good introduction to Welland.
So we need a fucking Doberman.
I have a well, at the time we had a boxer, a Roddy, and a Great Pyrenees.
Well, they probably all went in and licked the guy to death. Guy probably just had a fucking milk bone in there.
I'm talking to the cops, and they're like, "Do you have a security system?" I'm like, "Yeah," and they're fucking fired. He goes, "What do you mean?" I told him. He goes, "Really? Those 3 dogs and not one barked?" I go, "No, not one barked."
He didn't bark? Oh shit, I thought at least the Roddy would tear him apart. Jesus. The guy must have been really friendly for a fucking criminal.
No, I don't even think they woke up. They were probably just all 3 sleeping, going, "Yeah, okay,
Oh,
I don't care."
yeah. Well, hopefully they didn't get none anyway.
Oh, they did.
Did they take the Jag at least?
No, that's the old house. I don't live in the Falls anymore.
You just left it, eh?
No. Paul came and got the Jag. Paul came and got the Jag.
Okay.
My ex-wife bitched for months, right? She bitched for months because, he wasn't happy that he had to leave his Jaguar either, right? Like that was like a $50,000 car that was in my garage, and he had to like hitch rides home to get home because he couldn't.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a tragic incident. You got to kind of like.
Yeah, no, it was a tragic incident. He was leaving it here until he had the money to rent a truck to come up with a trailer and pick it up and bring it home.
You should have just pulled the engine out, dropped a Chev 350 in it.
We should have, but we didn't. But anyway, so it sat there from May until August or September with her bitching daily, right? I want this car out of here. I have an elliptical trainer in the garage. I want to use it. Is going off, right? So I tell him, I'm like, "Look, man, she's fucking freaking out. Can you come get your car?" He's like, "Okay." Comes and gets the car. Guess what wasn't fucking touched in the 5 fucking years after that? The elliptical motherfucking trainer.
Oh, well, garages are for cars, man. That's how I see it. You try to give her something to bitch about.
Fuck. She didn't need anything to bitch about. She did it all the time.
Hey, Chad.
Uh-huh.
You want to see my ding dong?
I don't know how to answer that. The fuck are those?
Ding dong.
What the fuck is a ding dong?
Ding dong is Chinese mixed nuts, but it's like wasabi peas, sort of, but they're not really hot. With like a bunch of. They're 77 cents at the at the store. So I thought, well, it's 77 cents and it says ding dong. I kind of got to buy it. And it was pretty good. It was a pretty good deal. But it was also hilarious, so I'm happy. You look confused.
I am, but I kind of want to try them at the same time.
Try Walmart.
Honey, have you seen any ding dongs at the store? She can't hear me now.
They're in the Asian aisle at Walmart.
Wonder if I threw something at her. Have you seen any ding dongs at the store?
Ding dongs? Isn't that an American thing?
I don't know. He has ding dongs.
Did he go to the States to get them?
No, we bought them in Alberta.
Hey, well, we're not in Alberta.
I know we're not in Alberta. I'm asking if
Ontario.
you've seen fucking ding dongs.
No, I've never seen ding dong. The only ding dong I see at the store is you.
Love you too, honey.
No, it's the first time I saw the ding dong. I was mad because they were all out of mango pudding with lychee in it.
I have a love for tapioca pudding. I don't like to admit it, but I do.
Yeah. You like bubble tea?
Never had bubble tea.
Oh, you never have? You should try it. This is a fucking trip.
Yeah, no, bubble tea is one thing I have never had.
Yeah, if you like tapioca, they have like fucking half-inch blobs in it. They slurp up the straw and then it's pretty hardcore.
Mm-hmm. Slurp up the straw, eh?
Yep. Just had a light bulb experience.
So, I just asked the 4 people viewing us to tell us what their favorite brewery is in their state or province. What's your favorite brewery in your province, sir?
Well, I kind of got a few that are all about even. I'd have to say Tool Shed, but they've kind of let their beer isn't as turbid anymore. It's like more filtered, kind of. They've been slipping. Troubled Monk is pretty good. And Ribstone Creek is good. Those are about my top 3 for like craft session beers.
Now, see, I should tell you straight up that it's Brimstone, but that's just because I'm biased because they host the beer festival. Talking about just beer that I've drank that I've loved, probably Half Hours on Earth or Halo, I would say. With Brimstone and Cayman Kettle coming in 3rd and 4th because of heart.
Yeah.
No, I brew at one of them, and and the other one hosts my festival, so I can't say I don't love them.
I give you a Tool Shed one time you drank in the shower.
You did give me a Tool Shed I drank in the shower. That was my first shower beer, I do believe. I think it was the red.
Yeah, that's like one of my go-to beers. But it's not as turbid as it used to be. I liked it because it was more like unfiltered and a little stronger back then. Now it seems to be a little bit more clear.
I'm noticing that a lot of breweries are going to more and more filtration.
Yeah, and that's kind of sad.
Certainly is. Ooh, I gotta send an email while we're sitting here talking.
Oh.
You ever go to the washroom and think you're taking a piss, but then it turns into a poo?
No, I usually, if I got to shit, I got to shit. Usually, it's a pretty big what do you call it? Sensation. I get a big shit sensation. Like, that's definitely shit. Again.
Ooh, I got my thing. Okay.
Do you still get to piss in the sink at this new place?
I can't piss in the sink at this place because I can't get to the sink. There's a freezer in front of it. She didn't say anything to me, so maybe she wasn't listening to that either.
What?
Nothing. You just stay over there and mind your own business. Love you.
Love you too.
Guy stuff. We're talking about sink pissing.
Yeah, we're talking about pissing in sinks.
Something I'm sure some chicks have done, but no, not a great ease.
She said as long as I rinse it out afterwards, she doesn't care.
Okay. Good policy. What's that? What's going on?
I'm just sending you a quickie. That's all.
He just saw something like insane. I didn't know they had elephant ninja porn.
Elephant midget porn.
Your audio is like weird.
That's my audio word.
Like, well, the background like feedback noise is like.
Maybe that's the ghost.
Ghost of Christmas Past. Yeah, there it goes again.
That's my keyboard, most likely.
Oh.
There we go. Bang. Sent out. Done. Okie dokies. Okay. So I have a few more minutes before I have to go upstairs and take a dump. What do we have here? Kent Beer Reviews. Deva Brewing Company out of Cheltenham, UK are awesome. Why aren't you here, Craig? You're in the chat that I sent the link to. Too good for me because you have an English accent? I have an English accent, so I'm too good for you.
What kind of English accent? Is it like a Stuart Picard English accent?
No.
Okay. So you can understand him.
Yeah, it's not Stu. Stu is Welsh, not.
Oh, okay. That would explain maybe. I was like, I said I could understand Stewie, and I was bragging, and I could understand him, and then I started talking to him, but it's like, nah.
Yeah,
Really.
you can understand him until he was drinking and getting excited.
Then it was just like Ozzy Osbourne, Keith Richards, and I was like, oh.
I think I think my grandparents, well, at least my grandparents on my father's side, helped me be able to understand him a little better. But yeah, he was still damaging to me sometimes. He still is if I watch anything.
Oh, I haven't really been watching too many beer tube videos. I don't know if anyone is anymore.
No, there's not many people watching them anymore.
Yeah.
Gotta get my beard back. I hate it being gone.
I think YouTube is getting weird too.
It is. YouTube's been weird for a while, man.
It's been really weird. Like I watched, if you watch a President Trump speech, there's like, I look on there, there's like 6,000 views. I'm like, this has got to be some kind of bullshit. 6,000 views on the president's speech. This is fucked up. I don't think so. I think something funny is going on. It's kind of weird.
Let's log into AdSense. Wow. Yep, that's going great. It's going great, everybody. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, man.
What's going great?
Stuff's going great.
Okay.
I do have to pee. Possibly poo.
Possibly take a wicked huge shit.
It was great catching up with you again. I'm gonna go offline, I think, though.
Okay.
Thank you, YouTube, for watching.